Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, because we're ready to break the walls down.
Yeah, we are.
We're breaking the walls down.
We're here to talk about all the newcomers and the surprises and all the upsets and all the happenings of the past weekend of wrestling, because my God, there was a ton of them.
Was Judas there?
No. So
Judas
unfortunately, no, we mentioned it in the last episode, and we got played just along with everybody else. We got big letdown just like everybody else. We get nada.
Yeah. We'll get into that. But let's talk about today's sponsor. We got Blanton's, the original single barrel bourbon whiskey. Blanton's from the good folks at Buffalo Trace. Nice first sponsorship for the show.
Start of the new year. Got to start off hot.
Got to start it off hot. So cheers to the new year, sir. Cheers to season 4.
Okay.
Little spice.
Yep. A little bit in there. A little bit got in the nose. Clear up the sinuses a little bit, but that's okay.
All right. Today's title is officially called Oba Did What?
Oba did a lot.
Oba did what?
Yeah, he made a statement.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, he made a statement. So we got a lot to talk about before we get there. But I mean, just to delve into where we're going to end up at. Holy hell! It isn't necessarily what I would have loved, but the alternative would have been to put your world title on a TNA guy, and we knew that wasn't happening. So,
well, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll save that conversation.
I just got to leave that teaser in there. Now you got to hold on to the end of the show to hear that comment.
But good Lord, God Almighty, Jesus on the cracker, we got everything in the world to talk about today.
Yeah, they packed a lot into a weekend, huh?
We
last spoke to y'all Friday the 2nd. And holy hell.
Yeah, this is too much to as the old folks say, fit-fodled around.
Yeah, we had 1 week, and damn, they packed a lot in now. So now we got to try and find a way to fit it into 45 minutes.
We got to get to it. So like Trick said, let's talk about it. And actually,
where did he say that at?
Actually, like Trick,
let's
talk about it.
Where did he say that at? I heard him say that on Smackdown in his lemon pepper steppers.
Look, if that don't get on a t-shirt soon, I swear to God. Because
they need to just have a whole silhouette, the whole cowboy outfit on there.
The cowboy outfit looking the way
down to the Prince boots.
Looking like a pimp himself. With it just says, "Let me step in my lemon pepper steppers." Just
I'm telling you,
put it on a shirt. I'll buy it.
That boy say he was sharp. as they say that boy was sharp.
I loved it. Everything that happened with Trick coming out there and addressing Sammy, because Sammy said he had aspirations for the world heavyweight title. Well, now Trick's done said, no, there's a speed bump you're going to have to get through first here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Sammy's a good first dance partner to give to Trick.
Absolutely.
He's established. He knows what he's doing. He can carry a match if need to. He can make a guy look the way he wants him to look.
Right.
So I think that's a good start. So we're gonna go into the new year on a clean slate, right? We're gonna forget about the whole Triple K thing for the booking team and all that from last year.
Are we though?
We're gonna go into it smooth. We're gonna give him a free shot. We're gonna give him one. We're gonna give him,
even though something we're gonna talk about later was such a Triple K move.
So of course, I mean, we're always gonna fall back into it, right? Unfortunately, we don't get to delve away from it too much here on this show because we realize what's happening. But we're as far as Trick's concerned, right?
Yeah. Trick.
Right, so
Trick's getting booked.
And as far as Smackdown, I mean, we got Carmelo Hayes, finally the United States champion. So he's got a title. He's on a win streak now. He's got 2 wins in a row. And I mean, that's huge for Carmelo on SmackDown because he ain't done that yet.
Nope.
But, we got Trick getting called up. We got some moves happening. I mean.
Trick, the sky is the limit, sir.
The limit is the sky.
I'm hoping that from what I think is going to happen, the reason why Carmelo does have that U.S. title is because there is going to be a rekindling of that feud for that belt.
Same difference, right? You can't think that Triple H doesn't see money in Trick, right? He's got the build, he's got the look, he's got the talk, he's got the walk. Yep. He's got everything that can make a lot of money for a company. So you got to put him with who's going to make him look that way, right?
Now, I need Trick, if you're listening, Trick, I need this to happen because this is what I want to see, because my belt cabinet's getting a little lonely since, I've not purchased any new thing.
New year, new you.
Need to happen here. Look, if you get that U.S. belt, there needs to be a new U.S. belt, and it'd be tricked out.
So, speaking of that, Carmelo had promised us if he ever won the United States title, he would get a spinner title return. So, absolutely, I'm excited for tonight's episode of Smackdown to see if we actually get that spinner title. Now, I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think they're going to re-customize it from John Cena to Carmelo Hayes. But if there was anybody to do it, because Melo already said he's going to start hanging the jerseys back up in the rafters. Yep. So, if we're going to lean all the way into the gimmick let's go all the way through and let's get us a spinner title out there.
So, speaking of leaning all the way into it, somebody leaned all the way into it past the John Cena last time is now
John
tournament.
Cena, who?
And
we don't talk about him no more. We're done with that guy.
We're talking about woo. Mr. Matt Cardona has officially joined Friday Night SmackDown.
Not Zack Ryder?
Not Zack Ryder.
We just saw Zack Ryder 2 months ago. So Zack Ryder officially is dead now.
Yeah, he's dead.
So the rumor that Matt had said originally was we would never see Zack again. He was completely dead. Mm-hmm. He got resurrected for one night only.
You know why one night only?
Why is that?
Because he wanted the powers that be wanted to see if Matt was going to be the good little soldier and bring Zack back out for one night.
Got to humble him a little bit. And he played ball and he got hired. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at that.
A lot of people mad like, he wants that WWE money. He left the Indies. And,
yeah.
So
what? So same here, right?
Why not?
We love doing the podcast the way we do, but just like what happened with the Undertaker, if WWE comes a calling, we gonna go a selling. Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's just the way of the game. But I don't think it was necessarily the WWE money, to be honest.
No,
I think it was the whole Ethan Carter, Chelsea Green storyline that Matt was doing. I think he was like, hold on.
You need to keep closer tabs.
Now, Matt was like, I done seen that Dom stuff y'all was doing a few months ago. He was like, before we even get into that shit, get me back in the company right now. He's like, you can call me whatever you want. But at the end of the day, call me husband. Because my ass is going to keep tabs on this. I ain't going to sit at home like Dom's wife.
Especially the creaming episode.
Hell, right. After that happened, that's when he came back for the Zack Ryder thing. I think after that, he was like, you know what? I'll be on roster next week. I'll take that call now, Triple H. What's up?
So welcome back, Matt Cardona. As they always say, he stayed ready. And welcome home. So
always ready.
That all happened. We also, speaking of Matt Cardona, we got to talk about his wife, Chelsea Green. We got to talk about, she dropped the U.S. title to Julia.
So this is going to be a theme on this show tonight, but when your husband gets signed to the main roster, you got to lose your title.
Yeah, it just happens.
Unfortunately, it just happened. It happened on Raw. Now, when our Raw Women's Intercontinental Champion won her title, she wasn't married, so it didn't happen to her.
Didn't happen.
The minute she got married, she didn't even get the honeymoon before that title was gone.
It's like boom.
So, but yeah, it happened to Chelsea too, right? And at this stage of the game, got to lose your mid-card title if you're going to be married in this business.
Honestly, though, we've said back in the past, go back to the archives, listen to our conversation about Chelsea Green being the U.S. Women's Champ. We said in the past it works better with her kind of chasing.
Yeah.
But her gimmick, being the quote-unquote presidential, figure, having the U.S. belt, that all kind of works. But we'll see where that goes. But congratulations to Julia, two-time U.S. Women's Champ. Interesting to see what they do with Julia now because
I think they fumbled it the first go round.
They fumbled it the first go round, and I think they punted it back to Chelsea because they had to try to figure out what to do with Julia.
Yeah, well, I think it worked with Chelsea. I think they realized it worked with Chelsea the first go round, and then they kind of dropped the ball on Julia, and then they're like, well, let's reset. So essentially, we just pressed the reset button, and we're going to redo the whole thing all over again.
And kudos to Chelsea because she not only sold the match in the ring, but she sold the match out of the ring because she went on the Not Sam kind of publication there, and she was talking about that match, and she was like, I think I got myself into a strong style match because Julia beat the crap out of me. She's like, I feel every bit of that match.
Yeah, she went through some of the bruises and some of the bumps and all that. So yeah, I get it. But hey, what a trooper she is. I mean, we're talking about will Matt Cardona play the role, and we'd be a good little soldier and all that. Chelsea's, if he didn't know how to do it, all he needed to do was watch his wife. Because I mean, she's played every role that the company has asked for, be it foolish, be it strategic, be it whatever they want her to do for that particular week. She goes out there and owns it.
So let's do this real quick. Let's put an addendum here to the podcast real quick. I want to talk about why we love Chelsea Green so much. And
it's not because of how she looks, right?
No, it's not. It can't be that. It can't be that. Couldn't be that.
Okay.
So we talk about Chelsea Green so much because if you're out there and if you're an aspiring wrestler to try to get into one of these companies or hell, even trying to get into the indie scene, she's the blueprint of what you should do when you're working for a company.
Because, I mean, even when she was Laurel Van Ness with TNA, it was the same thing, right?
Yep.
They had her being a crazy bride. They put her in a lot of weird, wild, wacky gimmicks.
Yep.
And instead of just saying, well, whatever, and just going out there and just doing it just to get it done, she owned it. I mean, she said, you know what? If I gotta be a weirdo tonight, I'm gonna be the best weirdo tonight. If I gotta be a crazy person tomorrow night, I'm gonna be the best crazy person. You know what I mean? She, instead of just taking whatever nonsense they gave her and dumbing it down, she played into it and actually made it worth something.
All right, so we're going to talk about a curveball real quick. We're going to get into something real quick, a topic that I'm curious to get my podcast partners' opinion on, but I'm curious to get our fans, get their opinion on as well on our social media platforms. I want to talk about Jade Cargill.
Okay.
I want to talk about Jade having the belt for 60 plus days with no defense of it at all. Not even a match.
She's had a match. She wrestled like B-Fab and
squash matches.
Well, yeah, she wrestled a lot of squash matches.
Why are we protecting Jade Cargill? What is up with this, man?
So my take on it is, and I think we mentioned it in last week's episode when we were talking about the Rumble and kind of wandering down the Rumble, I think Bianca Belair comes back and wins the Rumble. I think Bianca wrestles Jade at WrestleMania, right?
So this is a long-term booking angle by which she is being held back because we're waiting on her dance partner.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, but we also don't want to expose her before we get there, right? Because when you put the title on her, and we said this back when she was contending for the title, when she was wrestling Tiffany, when all that was happening, nobody looks the part better than Jade Cargill.
True.
When you put the title around her waist and she hits her pose in the entrance, that's a wrestler.
True.
Give a damn what gender she is. That's a wrestler. And when I look at it, I can see Vince McMahon's wet dream in motion when it happens. Every time she does it, I'm like, God, with her build, her stature, that W on her waist.
Hold on. You talking about a woman and Vince McMahon? Isn't there some kind of an NDA somewhere where we can't talk about
So again, it's his wet dream, right? So that's why I'm leaning into it. It's not that hard of a sell, right? Like it is.
Right.
Like
that's what he tells everybody.
That's what I mean, right? It isn't like I got to convince you that this is happening, right? You know it. Now I'm just making you visualize it. Because, when you see that big W on her waist, and I mean, you see that statuesque, human being standing there. Even Triple H, I mean, she's kind of like the female Triple H as far as the look, right? She's got it all. Now, we've always known, and I mean, unfortunately, it's been the case that she ain't the best in the ring. So when you get it, as Pritchard always says, the projection is great, but sooner or later that damn bell got to ring, and when that bell got to ring, that's where we start coming up a little soft.
So here's what my thoughts are on Jade Cargill. Now, our lady fans out there that are listening, I'm only going to call her this because this is what she calls herself. Okay. She runs around backstage WWE saying, I am that bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. I think creatively, they can't come up with anything else for her.
Well, no kidding. Right?
I think that unfortunately she's like a damn European sports car that only has one trick on the track and you can't take them on the road. It's like, now granted, back in the day, there was a case for that. That was called your attraction matches.
Yeah.
That's your Andre the Giant match, right? So seeing Jade Cargill come out there looking like only she can look. Nobody else looks like Jade Cargill.
No. Absolutely.
So seeing her come out there, especially if she's got the title around her waist, it's an attraction. Cool, great. The less you see of an attraction, the more you want to see it.
They learned that formula with Roman.
Right. I totally get everything that's going on right now with Jade. My problem is there's a stigma around that she can't wrestle, that she can't go in the ring. Okay. Let her damn prove it. Granted, we see her in the ring. We know there's some things that, as fans, it's apparent when you watch a Jade Cargill match. But why hide her? Well, I get it. Like I said, I get it. I'm telling WWE, I'm telling our fans, I want to see more Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I disagree
with you. Give me more Jade Cargill. Why?
I disagree with you for the exact reason that you just said. At the end of the day, if you want to sell 100,000 tickets to WrestleMania and you want people to pay money to see Jade versus Bianca, you don't want to see Jade stumbling and bumbling around the ring leading up to it, right?
This is true.
You want her to be the most dominant female champion that you have on the roster by far.
So basically, we are Goldberging her.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
100%.
Okay.
So
I'm making sure I wasn't dreaming.
So look at the predecessors for what Jade is, right? Like Jade in Bret Hart. Jade in HBK.
No.
Jade is Hulk Hogan. Jade is Roman Reigns. Jade is Brock Lesnar. Jade is Goldberg.
She's an attraction.
You don't see any of those guys that I just said on a regular basis. They ain't in the ring every Friday night. Nor should they be.
That's true.
So if you want her to be that big of a star, if you want her to play on that playing field, you treat her the same. The difference is in WWE, they don't always treat them the same, right? Sometimes they want to, like you said, to get them out there, get in front of the fans, let's go. That was great when they used to have house shows because if it looked bad, so what? But that was in the 80s and 90s when everybody didn't have a damn cell phone. Now you can't do house shows and try stuff and practice and learn and all that because it'll end up on TV the next day, one way or the other, right?
Yep.
So now you have to do that behind the scenes work. You got to put the work in the, in the gym. You got to put the work in a training center like Natty's Training Center or the Nightmare Factory. You got to do shit like that now because you ain't trying it in the ring no more. I don't want to see any of Jade until her and Bianca have perfected a match that's going to look as good as possible at WrestleMania.
Maybe that's why we ain't seeing her. Maybe she's out there with Bianca practicing.
That's what I would say. I would, because we ain't seeing Bianca either. So I would say those two, we already knew they were friends. They live near each other remotely, I would assume. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not putting the work in behind the scenes now. So that presentation, when it happens, is flawless.
All right, let's move on to what happened on Monday Night Raw. Kicked off with new women's tag team champions. The official name for this tag team is apparently called Riho. That's
Riho.
That's where they're going with it.
So remember the AEW Riho? Yeah, they should just sign her. They've already got every other Asian female wrestler on the planet. They need to just get Riho in there and let her tag team with those two guys. They could be a six-man or a six-woman, and then they could legitimately be Riho.
So you have Rhea and Io go up against Kairi Sane and Asuka for the women's tag champions. Got new champions. That was about time. That was the
Kabuki Warriors were definitely transitional because you couldn't have Rhea and Io wrestle Charlotte and Alexa. Who the hell are you going to cheer for in that, right?
Right.
So you had to find a way to transition it through. But ever since they had Rhea and Io kind of teaming together on a regular basis, you kind of saw it coming.
Speaking of saw it coming, you know where this is going, right?
So I know where it went, because do you remember what I asked you when we were watching that match? Like during the entrance, do you remember what I asked you during that?
If we're going to make time for this part,
I done already put it out there, so you gotta live into it.
So let's say that those two were very affectionate.
They have been for a while, right? Like there ain't been no lack of touching between those two, and I don't mean in the wrestling form. I mean in the congratulations form. I feel like they congratulate better than they wrestle sometimes.
The
but
Twitter universe was all over that with it.
Yeah, let me just say the word crack came up. up, and I was like, well, if it didn't happen, it's about to.
It's about to.
That's all I can, and I will leave it at that.
So where this is going, this is eventually going between Rhea and Io versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And I smell a heel turn.
What the Rock is cooking?
I smell a heel turn coming.
Who's turning?
Alexa.
I
think she's going to turn on Charlotte.
You think Charlotte's going to stay the quote unquote face and Alexa's going to turn?
Yep. I think there's a WrestleMania match there between Alexa and Charlotte.
I can definitely see that, but I don't know if I see it getting there the same way because we've seen
the roles are going to be reversed.
We've seen Charlotte try and do every face role possible. It's never worked. The only thing that's got her even remotely likable as a face is pairing her with Alexa.
Yep.
The only thing that can make a bigger heel than what she's already been is turning on her new best friend. Because if Alexa turns, people are still going to cheer Alexa. They're still going to boo Charlotte because that's just in our nature. We're gonna boo Charlotte because that's what Charlotte is. She's a boo magnet. And Alexa saved her from it a little bit, but Alexa ain't going to become the boo magnet to take the boos off of Charlotte's back. That ain't going to happen.
I think Alexa finally turns heel and finally takes her place as the leader of the Wyatt Six.
Damn, that's still around?
That's still around.
Oh, hell, I thought the Wyatt Six was in AEW. It's been so long since I seen them.
I think that's what they're waiting on. What do you mean see them? They're the tag champs.
Yeah, when's the last, speaking of when's the last time you saw that belt defended? Holy hell.
Against the Street Profits.
Yeah, when was that? Christmas?
Yeah.
God. Who won?
The Wyatt Six.
Oh, okay, great. Street Profits are still teaming?
Yes.
Yeah, holy hell. I thought Montez Ford had his lemon pepper steppers on this week. That wasn't hell, he should tag with Trick and they should wander off into that thing, and Dawkins can be a manager.
Sorry, Dawkins, but I would.
Yeah, I mean, we love Dawkins, we love the team, but damn, I see so much more from Montez out there. Whatever. That's another show.
So new women's tag champs. Now we got a new women's IC champ.
What in the hell?
The man, Becky Lynch.
Telling you,
as she would build Monday Night, Big Time Bex is apparently
back. Big Time Bex is back. She's great.
Back. So out of all the gimmicks that Becky has had over the years, I'm enjoying this gimmick that she's running with right now.
So I like it more now than I did maybe, 6 weeks ago. Because 6 weeks ago, she was doing the whole Trump thing, and I was like,
she still is. That's why I like it.
She is, but it's not.
I love
it's not the same way now, right? Because
well, see, that's the thing. She's carried it into her actual persona.
Yeah. It's more her now
when she's doing podcasts and Twitter posts.
Yeah,
I'm
in the original. It kind of felt generic. Like it was like
it did because it was too on the nose.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. It was. It was too much. That
I think
I'm
she
like,
figured
you're not
out
even
how to do it.
Yeah, it was blatant in the beginning. Like I said, now it's kind of second nature.
Yeah.
Probably who she really is. I mean, let's call a spade, right?
Could be.
Because I mean, she ain't witty on the mic for no reason. Most witty people got that.
They're assholes.
I've been called witty before, and I know for a fact I could be an asshole when necessary. Hell, not even when necessary, just when I feel like it. Necessary. Hell, when I get the urge, I can say some asshole shit, and I find it hilarious. So I feel like that's probably what Becky's doing. She's just leaning more into what her natural persona is.
But Maxine Dupree was a great women's IC champ for what it was. Everybody,
she was a great looking bride. Did you see her pictures from her wedding?
My God, she was.
And I mean, and women wrestlers that went out to support. Damn, y'all did the thing. Let's just put it out. Did you catch so missing in action lately? Tiffany Stratton. Did you happen to see her outfit there, like the dancing and all that she was doing at the wedding?
I think me as well as a lot of other people saw that.
Yeah, I also saw her eating cake off some dude's muscle, and I was like, well, that was an unexpected turn. That kind of soured the whole thing for me, and I'm like, well, damn. Speaking of moving on,
so you got a new IC champ. Where this goes, this is an easy one.
Nobody knows.
No, this is going to build towards AJ at a match between Becky and AJ at Mania. That's where this is going to go.
I think Maxine was the stopgap in that because AJ ain't going to be around every week.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like now between now and Rumble, I feel like that's going to start planting the seeds, and then after Rumble, it's rockets away.
All right, so somebody that had a rocket. Their rocket may be fuzzing out a little bit here because she limped to the ring with a walking boot on.
What in the hell was that?
What happened, Stephanie Vaquer? one minute you're beating the brakes off of Nikki Bella.
Now somebody done stepped on your brake.
And Raquel Rodriguez done beat the shoe polish off that boot.
They beat the dog duty out of that girl. Because damn, she did some butt whooping on Monday.
So look, that the word on the street is the injury is legit. It's real. It's not a serious injury, but what a way to get her off TV for a while to see what you got. They're basically doing the same thing that they did with Seth.
Yeah, essentially.
Getting her off TV for a while, see what they got. If it's serious, she'll drop the title. Yeah. If it's not, then hey, we'll see what happens. But hope you heal up fast, Stephanie. Can't wait to see you back on the TV screen.
Definitely can't wait to see you back.
Now, here we go with our Triple K booking.
Javon
Evans.
Oh hell,
got called up.
Yeah,
during a commercial.
A commercial. Yep.
Yep. So why did that happen?
Because it's WWE. Why not? Right.
Now look, for the US it was a commercial break, but for international viewers it was televised. So cool for international viewers. However, everybody that was watching it in the moment in the US completely missed it and had to find out on Twitter afterwards.
Yeah, right. They didn't even reference it in the show. It seems like they would have addressed it later on in the show, but much like our show, they probably just had too much to get to and just, had to get it in where it fit in.
So Javon, welcome to the main roster. Sorry about the call up. I wish it was better.
So unfortunately, Javon's only like 20, so he doesn't understand like the hierarchy in WWE. But he'll learn that he'll really understand soon.
I hope that's not indicative of what we're about to see for the next 12 months.
He's about to do a lot of jobbing. Unfortunately, he's the new Carmelo. Now that Carmelo finally broke the glass ceiling, you got to put somebody in that spot. There's got to be one token in there, and it's got to be Javon right now.
All right, we got to talk about Punk versus Breaker.
First
off, they gave a hell of a 40 minutes to this match.
Yeah, I remember texting you when it happened, and I'm like, holy hell, they shut down like actual Raw at like 9:45, and I'm like, holy hell. When they said, coming out of commercial, which let's talk about how many more commercials can they fit into one damn Raw? God, I saw more commercials. I know every product that's out on the store shelves right now. They fit every damn product into Raw in 2 hours that they possibly could.
Sponsored by Nordchart VPN.
I'm sponsored by every damn body. Anybody they could fit in.
I'm saying 3 letters, 1 abbreviation, VPN.
Well, yeah, but
you got to get on the bandwagon with me, sir. That's how I knew Javon got called up.
Right, but we're all on Netflix. The whole purpose of Netflix was to not get more.
No, the whole purpose of Netflix is so they can keep making that cash grab. That's what that was about.
They're accomplishing that.
Not to mention you had a Stranger Things themed show with no cast from the Stranger Things anywhere.
Yeah, that's why we're not getting into that. There was so much potential for it. Like I saw teasers. Finn Balor put out a teaser where he was Finn Balor on the top, and then in the upside down he was the demon. I saw one with Bray Wyatt where Bray Wyatt was. Now obviously they weren't going to do that. No, but Bray Wyatt was he was on the top and the Fiend was in the upside down. So much they could have got into with the characters that they have. And didn't, but let's be honest. Stranger Things is outworking WWE on Netflix right now. It should have been the other way around.
Should have been.
Netflix should have positioned some WWE characters on Stranger Things because we need the rub more than they need the rub.
True. That's wrestling economics 101 right there. But let's talk about Punk versus Breaker. This match had me looking like Punk. Was he trying to cosplay as John Cena for like the first 15 minutes of this match?
I think Punk was asleep for half of the match. Hell,
he was doing everything he could to sell for Braun Breaker and make Braun look like he was the strongest dude on the earth that's been, cast next to Brock Lesnar. He was doing everything that he could. So kudos to Punk for working that match like that, for making Braun look like a superstar. However, we knew the interference was coming.
Yeah.
We called that.
Yeah, that was a given.
Yeah, we knew all of that was coming. The one thing that everybody's a little butthurt about and didn't happen was a certain alum, so to speak, showing up, which, granted, they never announced it. It was never teased. But at the same time, I think the IWC spun that out of control.
So, yeah, I mean,
we played our part too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody wants to lean into it because it's fun, right? I mean, you got to have fun with it. That's what WWE did. I feel like they leaned into it because it was fun. And they're like, hey, you guys are going to make a story. Let's give you all the fodder that you need to make it the biggest story of the year. And then poof.
But I will say the last 10 minutes of that Punk versus Breaker match, very entertaining, very good. Had me guessing really at the end, like, who the hell is going to walk away with his belt? Because I mean, just the near falls, everything else. I will say there was some spots that were a little sloppy.
Yeah, the Frankensteiner in the corner, that was a nightmare.
There's some things that happened, but again, these guys were coming off of a holiday break.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they didn't have...
Let's be honest. Punk had a little extra cake over the weekend. He had a little holiday pie in there.
I did love Punk's choice of ring attire, though. Coming down in the Letterman jacket in
Michigan
colors.
With the Steiner lean.
Loved it.
Especially if you remember their WWE run, because they had the actual M on the jacket, even though they couldn't do Michigan for trademark.
Yep.
But then he put the C on the other side. I thought that was classic.
Loved it. I thought that was cool. Was the right person coming out of that match as the winner? Maybe.
We talked about that last week, right?
We did.
I think you said you wanted to see Braun win, but I think we both settled on they're probably going to go with Punk with whatever the bigger picture is.
Yep.
And we both know there's a bigger picture out there. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is yet. So
speaking of bigger picture, there was a match that's going to happen coming this Friday night that we ain't even talked about yet.
Oh, Lord.
With the 3 stages of hell.
Oh, yeah, true. Very true.
We ain't even talked about this yet. So hold on for a minute, though. When it comes to heel work right now in the WWE, Drew, you are top notch right now, sir.
Yeah,
you are top dog.
Yeah,
when it comes to heel work.
Yeah. So Drew, because of his use of social media, I feel like he's more in touch with, what's really going to get the GOAT, right?
Yep.
Like, he knows, like, this is going to piss some people off. At this point now, him and Cody they both know their characters. They're playing the role. But Drew's like, what's really going to stick it to the fans? What's really going to get them?
The picture on Twitter of him pissing on Cody's bus. Loved it.
Because, he knows it's like, because it's that old Triple H version of sophomore humor or whatever, but it's hilarious because it's going to drum up conversation.
I don't know if he's conversing with KO or what, but he's KO level right now.
Right, he's next level trolling
like crazy.
Yeah, he's next level trolling for real.
Love it. So I'm interested to see what happens in the 3 levels of hell match. Is it my favorite choices for the types of matches that they pick? No. I mean, obviously they're going to go 1-1 and then have the last match.
Yeah, they're definitely going to hit all 3.
They got to hit all 3.
That's the only thing I've always hated about 3 stages of hell or 2 out of 3 or anything like that. You're going 3.
And I can honestly tell you right now who's going to win the match.
Oh, Cody Rhodes. Right?
Cody Rhodes. And you want to know why?
No.
Because this SmackDown is happening overseas. This is happening in the middle of a European tour. There's no way you're going to let... Nope. It's going to happen in Berlin.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of some Saturday night's main event. They've been advertising Montreal.
There's no way that you're going to let Cody Rhodes finish a European tour without that belt.
You don't think they would put it on Drew being being from the UK? You don't think they would give it to him and let him carry it through the UK and drop it on the back end?
Don't get me wrong. I want them to.
Yeah.
As a Cody crybaby, I want them to change the regime. But it ain't going to happen.
No, not on damn sure not on SmackDown.
Nope.
I mean,
if it was a PLE, that might be.
They're right. There's a small window. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of chance, but there's a small window. But yeah, on a damn Friday. Come on now.
All right, so let's get to NXT. Let's get to a small segue before the big topic. Let's get to congratulations, Izzy Dame, new North American Women's Champion for NXT.
So that was part of why I thought the Braun Breaker CM Punk match was kind of sloppy, because I mean Braun had some celebrating to do, so he knew what was coming. That was already in the
more ways than one.
Well, he was hyping her up for the match. He's like, "Come on, I got to get you." So he had to get her stretched. He had to get her limber. And I mean, after all that was done, he faltered in the match and she succeeded. So apparently she arrived and he didn't.
Somebody else is about to arrive. Jordan Grace, she's getting called up. Along with the suspicions that Blake Monroe
I heard that
way because of the way that the match with Thea Hill did not go down. So the suspicion
I think they're leaning into that too, and they're like, well, we're already in this mess. We might as well make something come out of it. And I mean, if we get her on the main roster, I'm all there for that.
All right, let's talk about somebody else that is on his way to appearing on the main roster, it seems, after he had his match with Slater at the end of NXT New Year's Evil. Oba Femi celebrating in the ring. The spotlight, the spotlight hits him. He takes a look at the belt. They cut away to Ava, telling everybody else that's in the back that are new, saying, hey, lots of new opportunities are going to present themselves. The door bust open. Hey, did you see what Oba just did?
In that locker room while Ava was talking, did you notice one particular, damn, I done lost the girl's name now, the women's Intercontinental champ. Who did Becky just beat?
Maxine Dupree?
Yeah, you said it a minute ago, and it took my mind all the way off. I saw her husband was back in there. He was the tallest, the biggest in that room in there when that was happening. And I'm thinking Ava's probably talking to him because he's going to get called up sooner before later now, right?
So when they say, hey, did you see what Oba just did in the ring? They cut back to the ring. You no longer see Oba. He laid that NXT championship on the mat.
Yep.
Just like a wrestler would wear their boots and lay the boots in the middle of the ring when they retire.
Yep. Well, that's what Oba did. He done all he could do with NXT.
So you're about to take a sip. So let's give a congratulatory toast to the ruler, Oba Femi.
All right.
For making his way to the main roster.
Now.
Because if that boy ain't some kind of champion.
That shit.
Within 18 months.
Then we're in the Triple K regime.
We definitely in the Triple K regime.
At that point. Yeah. Because holy hell. First things first, right? They've been recruiting him. We know they were recruiting him. We know a lot of phone calls were made, but Oba's never really said anything about it. They mentioned it on the shows, but Oba hadn't said nothing about it. Oba fought that match like he was planning on being the longest reigning NXT champion of all time.
He did.
Coming out of it, no suspicion of that's how it was going to happen. So when they flipped it, holy hell, right? I'm floored. What?
As they cut back to the ring and they're showing the picture of the NXT title vacated in the middle of the ring, I'm sitting there going, wait, like I know I've been seeing promos for Oba on Raw and SmackDown.
Exactly.
But like, what is this?
Right.
What does this mean?
We don't know anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's a whole world of speculation.
Yeah.
Oba did what, and where is he going? Where can he be going, and who could he have his eyes on?
So here's one character that if they're still hunting for the right storyline for him, this ain't one of those where, the GMs come after him and, they're frantically trying to sign him and blah, blah, blah. I think he says where he wants to go. I think he picks his shot. I think he don't need he should tell them when they come to him like a A1 prospect for college, getting from high school, getting ready to go to college. I don't want to sit with you. I don't want to sit with you. I don't want to sit with you. Here's where I'm going, and I'll just declare, and then we'll figure all the rest out. I think he picks his spot. I think he says, you know what? I want to go to this particular show, and I'm going after this particular person on that show.
So as we are declaring, I'm going to go ahead and make my declare.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to book the last two competitors of the Royal Rumble.
All right. Who you got?
It's going to be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And Oba Femi.
No.
Roman winning.
Yeah.
Oba getting the rub.
Yeah.
Like he got off Cody.
No.
Yep.
No.
And I think Oba is going to wind up on Raw. And I really feel like you're going to get Oba with the IC belt potentially around WrestleMania.
So
that's where I see Oba.
So I'm not against any of that, but
Dom's on the shelf. Dom's hurt.
Yeah. So it probably won't be until WrestleMania until we even see him again. If even in Mania. I mean, they haven't vacated the title, so I'm assuming they have plans for him to be back.
They're going to do him just like they're doing Stephanie Vicari. It's just
just ride him out until. But I mean, that's kind of I think what they're doing. We just talked about it with Jade, right? I think everybody's going to kind of sit on their heels for a little bit because we don't need no injuries going into Mania because we've already had those stumbling blocks, right?
Right.
We got the Seth thing. We got a plethora of guys that are injured that have probably skewed some WrestleMania plans already because they're up in the air, right? So I think we put a lot of guys on the slow path to WrestleMania as far as champions go, and then we keep their contenders just getting hotter and hotter. But I don't know. So The reason I said no when you said you see Oba and Roman as the last two in the Rumble is the same reason that we made a misstep when we thought it was going to be Oba to challenge John Cena at Saturday night's main event. If you end up with Roman and Oba as the last two in the ring, well, now nobody's cheering for Oba no more, right? At this point now, they're doing the same thing they would have done for John Cena, and now they're cheering for Roman.
But the Rumble...
And now Oba's taking that back seat.
I hear you, but the Rumble is outside of the realm of a regular match.
That's the same thing we said about the whole John Cena retirement thing. It's outside of the realm of it. We saw how that happened. It did not work.
But I my opinion, Oba doesn't lose anything by losing to Roman in that Royal Rumble, because I honestly don't think you're going to see Oba until the Rumble. I don't think you're going to see him.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see him before that.
Nope. I don't think you're going to see him at all.
Because of how he left NXT, I think that's why we're going to see him again, because there's so many questions. I feel like those questions got to get answered.
If we see him before the Rumble, the only way I see us seeing him somewhere is if somebody's got to start the angle that gets started every year around the Rumble about, I'm going to be number 30. I'm declaring my entrance for the Rumble, blah, blah, blah. The only way that I see Oba showing up on our TV is if there's a scene where somebody's talking about that or whatever, and you think it's about, the camera's about to cut off, cut away, whatever, and then somebody blasts them from the back, knocks the hell out of them, the camera pans up, and it's Oba looking at one of the GMs and going, put me in the Rumble.
That ain't a bad way to get there. I feel like so many questions surrounded Oba coming out of NXT. I don't think you let that linger for another month, right?
I think the more you let it linger, the better it is, because you get more people to speculate.
Speculation will be there, but that's going to be on the internet wrestling community, right? The rest of the general public.
What do you mean, IWC? It's what we do. We speculate.
Yeah, that's 15% of the wrestling fandom, though. I mean, so the other 85%, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
But we also
doesn't exist for them, right?
But we also, we're seasoned.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For the 15% of us that we're catering to and that we are, absence makes the heart grow fonder. The more we don't see him, the more we want him. For the other 85%. He out of sight, out of mind, right? You forget about him, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Plus, he's an NXT guy. I mean, he's only wrestled one main roster match. The people that don't watch NXT don't even have no clue who he is. So you don't want to drag it out any longer than necessary when you can make an impact with him.
Cool. All I'm saying is, granted, he didn't get very far, but all I'm saying is, Oba Femi in the Rumble, Keith Lee, that son of a gun. Make him be what you wanted to do with Keith Lee.
Yeah, but they failed with that, so I don't want that to happen.
They failed with that because Keith Lee had health problems.
So Keith Lee was the Bearcat, and Keith Lee they did a lot.
Well, that was a Vince problem.
Keith Lee had to shave his damn beard. Then Keith Lee had to go gray hair. Then Keith Lee had to wear a leotard on the top. That's where they failed with that. But yeah, all that was Vince stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they ain't gonna misstep again with Oba Femi, right? So
they best not. They best not.
You wouldn't think so,
please
right?
Don't.
Like
Hunter, please.
Like I say, when you look at it on paper, you're like, cha-ching, right? I mean, that's all it tells me. But
here's the problem that they're gonna have with Oba Femi, though.
Yeah, he's too dark. I mean, Triple H just it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real easy to Triple K him because he's too dark. I was going. Because Javon Evans got the same problem, right? Like let's talk about it. Trick is caramel, right? He's got a little brightness with him.
I was gonna say the problem with Oba Femi is right now Braun Breaker is in Oba Femi's spot.
He is, but Braun just lost to the world champion. So, I mean, that spot might be sitting wide open right now.
I don't know.
I'll be honest, though. I mean, I know we're running out of time, but I don't think Oba goes to Raw anyway. I think Oba goes to SmackDown and Roman goes to Raw. I feel like Roman.
I think Roman is on Raw. I think Roman's going to win the
I think he wins the Rumble and stays on Raw. So.
Right. He's gonna challenge Punk.
If he challenges Punk, and now Oba's wide open. I don't want Roman and Oba on the same show. Let's make sure we establish that before we close out today's show.
I don't want Oba and Trick on the same show.
You don't want Oba and who?
Trick.
They've worked together before. I could see them being on the same show because eventually they might run back.
Tag team, please.
No, not in a tag team, but I could see them run into working with each other as adversaries at some point. Because again, same thing we said about Trick. You want to put him with comfortable people that he knows how to work with to get the best out of him. That's probably going to be NXT guys for Oba right now, right? I mean, because he don't have no experience with main roster guys. But I damn sure don't want to see Oba on the same roster as Roman. That's a no-go for me.
Seems like old times, sir. Differing opinions. Here we go.
What do we always talk about at the end of the day, though? You see how big this bottle is down here, and then the neck up here? Ain't but so much room at the neck in that. And Oba and Roman take up a hell of a lot of room amongst the two of them. So I don't need to see them tying up with Punk and Seth and Braun. And hell, that's too much.
Interesting time that we have. You know, we used to say in years past, what a time to be a wrestling fan. Interesting time to be a wrestling fan.
They're starting to generate that interest again. It's starting to get into that feeling of, here we go. You know, you're starting to feel the spool wind up for a big explosion.
Yep. All right, everybody. We had a lot to talk about this week. Hope you got a lot to talk about this week. Reach out on our social media platforms. Drop us a line. Let us know your thoughts on everything that we covered. What did we not cover? I mean, hell, there's probably 10 different things we didn't cover.
I know something we didn't cover.
Uh-oh.
Well, you'll hear it in the clip. You'll hear it in the closeout.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to today's show. We appreciate everything you do. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Peace. Got to cover that Stephanie
Today's
Liv
podcast
interview.
was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.